So this is really kind of the first time that we've had such a huge, wide open area in the Pokemon main series RPG.
Oh my. That's gonna be fun.
Ain't too bad.
Wait,
Shut the fuck up! Yes! What is this game, dude? What?
Are we seeing Pokemon in the overworld? Pokemon
Wait a second, they're in the
Please
overworld?
tell me that's
Please,
Pokemon
what the
in the
hell
overworld.
am I watching right now?
They're in the overworld?
They did it, like, let's go!
Wait a second.
I
Don't
can't do
tell me
this.
random encounters are gone.
Oh,
You
what?
tell me.
Yo, what the heck's
Random
going on?
encounters are gone.
What is
What's
this?
with that giant Gyarados?
Are they doing a raid? Playing a raid right now?
What
Is this
is
the whole
that?
Pokemon Go raid?
Some kind of Pokemon XD Game of Darkness type shit?
Who do the shit that I do?
Stop. Okay, hold the celebration train. I don't mean to stop the train so abruptly when we were having so much fun, but it's come to my attention that people dislike this video. 82,000 dislikes. Are you serious, guys? You know how long it took to get... I'm going to like this real quick. Okay, there we go. You know how long it took us to get to this point? There is someone walking around in their game in the background of this screenshot on screen right now. If that doesn't excite you as a Pokemon fan, then what does? We've never had this. In this video, I'm going to talk about why people are upset, why they should be upset. I mean it. Feel what you feel. And why I think this is probably going to be still one of the best Pokemon games we've ever had. If not the best Pokemon game we've ever had. Don't forget, this is Game Freak's first main series game on a console. But I'm also not dumb. We can all agree this right here is not a good animation. This is not what we want. See? We can agree on some things. I'm with you guys. I'm totally with you. But I do like some things about this game. This is the first time they've actually branched out off of a handheld onto a console. And they told us not to expect too much, which means Pokemon fans expect a lot, so they're just trying to tell us, you know, maybe some things are going to be cut, but they're trying to add some new variants. I also expect a lot. I want a lot out of a Pokemon adventure, but I also want a game with a better competitive scene, and it looks like this game is aimed at that. But before I get into the good stuff, let's talk about the bad stuff. Why is everyone hating on this game? Why can't we all just love it? Well, there are some big flaws. First of all, this is what warranted the 80-some thousand dislikes on the video. Words from Masuda, the producer of Sword and Shield.
But there is one important change from the previous Pokemon Bank service that I want to tell all of its users about. So in previous games that worked with the Pokemon Bank service, you were able to, for example, in Sun and Moon, bring over any Pokemon even if they weren't in the Alola Pokedex. And so what that means for Pokemon Sword and Shield is that players will be able to transfer their Pokemon from Pokemon Home only if they appear in the Galar region Pokedex. Galar region Pokedex.
Only if they appear in the Galar region Pokédex. What? That's why everyone's so mad. Well, it's just like this meme. One new Pokemon game. Oh, great. Where's Maractus? 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 Don't tell me you didn't include Maractus. You never even used Maractus. How am I supposed to play a Pokemon game without Maractus? I'm not going to lie to you right now. I had to look up who the fuck Maractus was. Regardless if Maractus is in the game or not, or if other Pokemon are in the game or not, those Pokemon not being in the game will not detract from the value of this game. This game is about the new region and the new Pokemon and experiencing a new adventure.
So we were very careful. We spent a lot of time really thinking what the best selection of Pokemon to match the setting of the adventure would be.
Okay, so now that they said they've selected the best selection of Pokemon to match the Galar region, don't you think, first of all, they're going to have a lot of Pokemon, And second of all, it's going to be a really well-rounded game with a lot of Pokemon that we love and a lot of Pokemon that we've never seen before, but Pokemon that fit the region overall, which I think is an awesome idea for a first game on a console. Yes, I'm going to miss some Pokemon that are not in the game, but we're going to have a lot of Pokemon. 500, 600 maybe. That would be awesome. That would be a good chunk of them, like the majority of them. I'm sure we can lose some of the legendaries and other things that aren't even applicable to the Galar region. Pokemon is a game for everyone, and that's got to be a very difficult game to actually develop. It's for people from the ages 5 to however old gamers are, you know? It's rounded out so even the most basic of gamers can pick it up and still know what they're doing and enjoy the game, but even a very complicated gamer, someone who likes intricacies, can pick up the game and find a lot of facets that take a lot of time and a lot of grinding to actually explore and to master. That's not an easy type of game to develop or to develop a competitive scene for. And they're trying to make a better competitive scene for this game, which I think is awesome. Yes, it sucks that we're not getting a lot of the previous features, but I think a lot of them have been taken out for good reasons, especially like Mega Evolutions and Z Crystals. Yes, I'm going to miss Mega Evolutions. Who doesn't like Mega Evolutions? But there's a whole balancing aspect to it. If we're going to try and Gigantamax or Dynamax Pokemon, you can't really have both. And I think Dynamaxing is actually a good way to change up the meta of Pokemon. It allows for Pokemon to only be extremely strong for 3 turns, not the entire match. And let's not forget about first-timers. The first time you pick up a Pokemon game, that's who Pokemon is really for. It's for the young person who, for the first time, gets a Switch Lite, let's say, because his mom or his dad or his brother is always on the TV, and he gets a Switch Lite, and it's his first chance to actually have his own experience, and he gets a Pokemon game, and he gets Sword and Shield. And when he starts playing that game, his imagination is going to explode with wonder, and he's going to absolutely fall in love with this game. That is what this game is all about, and that's who it's for. But it's also for the hardcore fans. They said that when they were making Let's Go, and when they announced it, they said they were making a game for the hardcore fans, and this is it. They're actually focusing on the competitive scene and giving us a lot of features that we've been asking for, such as... All I ask is that they take the basic Pokemon premise of gotta catch 'em all in a large, open-ish world. Bam! Done. And then they're like, yo, we're making it. And that's exactly what they did. They gave us an open-ish world Pokemon game. And they gave us even more. They gave us Pokemon roaming in the overworld. They gave us a movable camera. They gave us big spawns. So there's actually Pokemon that are higher levels and are harder to catch. That's never been in a Pokemon game. There's also the ability to interact with Pokemon. You can crouch down and sneak up on them, or you can whistle at them. That's never been in a Pokemon game. You can have people roaming around in your wild area, and you can go catch Pokemon together. Well, we don't really know how far the extent of that goes, but you can at least go raid together. And raids, that's never been in a Pokemon game. They also included both types of encounters. There's overworld encounters, and there's also random encounters still in the game. They're working on the immersion of the game. It's much more of an adventure now, which is what Pokemon should be. Pokemon's always been about the adventure. This isn't some game that they just slapped together where they decided to just throw out there for a cash grab. This isn't like Anthem or Fallout 76. This is a full, complete game. Yes, maybe it's, $20 more than the other Pokemon Core Series games, but they're also giving us more. They might be taking away some of the Pokemon, yes, but they're giving us an immersive world where you can actually interact with Pokemon, where you can raid with your friends, where you can battle your friends, where you can invite them into your game. This is actually a game that has the Nintendo quality seal of approval. They are producing this game. It meets the standards of Game Freak for a main series core game. With that being said, this game still has its faults. It's not a perfect game. it only goes halfway with many aspects. The movable camera is only in the wild area. There are rumors that there is a city at the end where there will be a movable camera there as well, but we don't know that yet for sure. So as of right now, you can only move the camera around in the wild area and not on the regular routes themselves. Also, the glaring obvious one is that not all the Pokemon are in the game, as everyone says all the time, which, yes, does suck, but as they said, allows other Pokemon to shine more. One that I don't think is as big a deal, but is becoming more glaringly obvious now that we are in a console version of Pokemon, is that the animations have been relatively the same for a long time, and it looks like they're using a lot of the animations from the DS games. Now, I personally don't see how that's a problem because everyone reuses animations. Disney reuses animations. Super Smash Bros. Reuses animations. Everyone reuses animations. So that's not really the biggest deal, but it would be nice to have some animations that were more up to standards as opposed to something not even wiggling its tail when it's using Tail Whip, just moving its body, its whole body. I think we need improvements for Pokemon that are in the overworld as far as animations are concerned. Their animations are a little stagnant. Look at Wingull. He just hangs out in the air. Doesn't really flap at all. Like once in a while maybe it'll flap, but it's not moving. It'll just like stand still in the air. Well, you're like, well, that doesn't work. That's fake. Why would they do that? They have to know better than that. So I think improvements as far as like the actual Pokemon in the overworld, we do need better animations for them walking around. The game has incorporated a lot of things a lot of fans have been asking for a long time, but it also has a lot of half-baked ideas. But I think this being Game Freak's first attempt on a console, I think this game looks extremely promising. I can't wait to play it. And I'll leave you with these final words from Omari.
Yeah, in the Galar region, you're going to find a lot of Pokemon, including a bunch of Pokemon that no one has discovered yet. So the games are definitely chock full of content.
ガラル図鑑を完成させるのも非常に大変だと思うんですけども、皆さん頑張って集めてほしいなと思います。
And it will be no small feat to complete the Galar region Pokedex, but I do hope that players will give their best to try and catch them all in the region.
First of all, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking around. And let me know what your thoughts are. I am really curious, as everyone is. The Pokemon debate continues in the community, and we all continue to talk about whether or not this game looks good or looks bad. But tell me what you think. I'd like to know in the comments. Like the video if you did like it, and maybe even share it with a friend that you think is, on the fence maybe about Sword and Shield, or is really negative about Sword and Shield. Thanks again, friends.